Hello everyone. Welcome to another Chill and Chill space. As always, we have another interesting project as our guests that we're going to learn today about. And today we have their co-founder, actually, Ruby, with us. So the project is XP.NETWORK. Make sure to also give them a follow and engage with the socials. But yeah, that's what we're going to learn about today. Before we get started, as always, make sure to go and absolutely kill that pin tweet, like, what else? Comment, tag your friends, do all the right things. And we have a giveaway today as well. I think Ruby will tell us more about that later. The XP.NETWORK is going to give something to our listeners. And yeah, let's get started. Ruby, can you hear me well?
Yo, X, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Great. I'm glad to have you again on our space. I think we had space a long time ago, probably more than a couple months. But I'm sure there's definitely a lot of interesting updates and new things, as well as new people on the space who need to learn about XP.NETWORK. But before we get into all this, Ruby, do you think you could give a little personal background about yourself to our audience? Sort of what you've been doing in Web3, Aurora, Near, and how did it come to you co-founding the XP.NETWORK?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ruby. I'm the lead engineer and co-founder of XP.NETWORK. I've been around in the space for a few years now, currently leading XP.NETWORK for almost 3 years already. XP.NETWORK is an NFT bridge. We're currently connected to around 35 different blockchains, approximately 10 non-EVMs. We have 31 wallet integrations, currently running around 6 products, which are like surrounding the bridge, right? We have the Bridge Explorer, which basically you can see all of the transactions that are currently on the bridge using the Bridge Explorer. It's basically an Etherscan for the bridge, right? You go in, you can look, you can see all the transactions, all the total locked value. We also have ways for developers to integrate the bridge in their own dApp. An API, it's called XP.NET.JS. You can basically, it's a library. You install it, and a few lines of code, 5 to 10 minutes. Your project, your dApp is multi-chain. NFTs are multi-chain. We are using this dApp on our Bridge UI actually. So it's a very nice ping pong between the API team and the UI team, right? There's a lot of testing, a lot of work going on in there. There's also a simpler way to integrate the bridge using our bridge widget. It's like a Shopify, right? You go in, you choose colors, you can choose fonts, all of these things, very, very simple. Few minutes as well. You copy paste the code there, using iframe, web view on Android, all of these types of technologies. And your bridge is, your website or dApp is connected to the bridge. Basically, very simple.
Wow, well, now I don't even know what to ask anymore. I think you just gave us a full overview of XP.NETWORK. We can just close the space at this point. Yeah, but still would like to learn a little bit about yourself, to be honest. I'm very curious, what was your journey like to actually come to the point where you co-found your own project in Web3?
Yeah, sure, Rex. Basically, I've been developing my whole life, right? As a kid, I was developing. I had a website, one of the most successful websites in Israel. It was surrounding the series Dragon Ball. I was 8 years old. I had this website. It was one of my first projects. I gathered a team of young guys like me who really liked the show, and we had a lot of views, right, in this website. A lot of people were coming in. The show just hit Israel. Everybody were going crazy about it. My parents basically sold the website. I didn't see any money from it. They took it all, but it's fine. I guess they were raising me. And I was working on several companies. The latest company I was working on was called Firmo. It was acquired by eToro, led by a Cambridge PhD, Omri Ross. It was a very, very quick and interesting journey in the crypto space. we were doing derivatives on the blockchain. It was an extremely humbling experience, right? Suddenly you're surrounded by really, really smart guys. You learn everything from them. They intro you into this, they have their own world, right? These guys, they handle, finance, math, and all of these heavy things, and it was like a magnetic pull into like an interstellar planet. It's a crazy experience. And from there, we started, me here, the CEO, we started going, introducing to new people. Then we had this idea, right, to do this NFT bridge. We started doing it from Polkadot, right? We did the first NFT bridge from Polkadot to Elrond, which is now Multiverse X. And things start to take a quick like a landslide in the mountain. It was just a lot of integrations, a lot of projects, a lot of people. It was and right to this point, basically. Hope it answered the question, Wax.
I was asking, about the NFT space in general. So XP Network, obviously, a project that sort of completely relies on the NFT space, right, as an NFT bridge. And, we've seen a lot of interesting things happening in it. And of course, NFT technology has so many use cases potentially in the future in so many different areas. But, the NFTs as we know them as of right now and the recent past have mostly just been like speculative items on blockchain, JPEGs to make more money of other people, and obviously is such like a high risk asset on the on that sort of end of the risk curve. We've seen a lot of fluctuations, not just in prices, but like in space activity in general. As we went through crypto bear market, I think NFT space almost died completely. There was like no money, no liquidity anywhere. Now I guess it's picking back up. But would just be interested to hear your thoughts as someone who has a project that exists within that space. In general, about like longevity of that and where are we going with it, and what's your, how do you approach it personally with building XP network in such a volatile space?
Yeah, when we started XP.NETWORK, the NFTs were at the peak in their first. It's like a cycle, right? This is it's a great technology. It gives a way for people to hold assets on the blockchain, which is it's something very, very futuristic that takes time for people to grasp, right? The current cycle, the previous cycle, right, from the previous bull was all of these images, these PNGs. It's to me, it's a first cycle. It's a launch off, right? It's a way to see if there is a requirement for it, and these marketplaces, they took off immensely, right? OpenSea and all these others, big marketplaces, they had millions of users. They still have a lot of entries and a lot of users and a lot of traffic going on there, a lot of sales, a lot of buys. But to me, it feels like it is the first cycle of this technology. And as we know, as we've seen in the past as well, great technologies take time. And we in XP.NETWORK, we want to be a first. We want to be a foundation for like a base, like a base for a way to access liquidity for projects, for assets, basically for NFT assets to access liquidity all over the blockchain market, right? Every blockchain is like an island, okay? It has its own liquidity, the users and everything. The way that people use NFTs and the way that they interact with assets on the blockchain will change, right? It will transform. It will become better, right? People will start putting up contracts, real estate, all of these things will eventually go on the blockchain. And XP.NETWORK is looking to be the base player for all of these great use cases that are to come, and a way for them to access liquidity across many blockchains. This is how I see it.
And do you see XP network working mostly with NFTs in their current state, such as when we're talking about transferring like collectibles and different art between blockchain, or do we see it in the future being more about transferring more tangible things when we have NFT technology more widely adopted, such as I don't know titles to cars and real estate and rights of ownership, so like more advanced things, or is it still primarily targeting the NFT market in the current state how it exists?
XP Network can targets the NFT market as it is, right? If there is collectibles, people can use it for collectibles, and when it will eventually reach the state of people actually buying cars on the blockchain and holding assets and documents and contracts and real estate, it will target these markets, right? It's a way for these assets to access liquidity across many blockchains.
Got it. And also wanted to ask you, do you know like a big narrative on here right now is chain abstraction? Have you heard about it at all? I understand you guys are not like super specific to near ecosystem, but if you know about it, would be interesting to hear your thoughts.
Actually, the near integration was one of the smoothest ones that we had. I haven't heard about the technology you've spoken about, but I just want to state that the near integration was very, very smooth. Sometimes non-EVMs can be quite challenging, but the near one was actually one of the shortest ones that we had. It's well documented. Everything was in place, very secure. It uses a very, very good language, and this is what I pretty much have to say about near. It was a very, very smooth integration, right? We've integrated a lot of chains, a lot of non-EVMs, and near was one of the smoothest integration that we've had.
Got it. And so you guys also integrated Aurora as well, is that correct?
Integrated. What did you say? I didn't quite catch it.
Like you have near integration for XP Network as well as you have Aurora integration.
Exactly. Yeah. First, we've integrated Aurora, right, which relies on the EVM technology, which is something that the team has a very, very good expertise in it. Solidity and all of the Web3 libraries that are surrounding it. Basically, the bridge works in this way, right? You have a smart contract that the person locks the NFT on it. He locks the original NFT on this specific smart contract. Let's say you want to send from Aurora to Polygon, right? He locks this NFT on Aurora. Okay, we have often a set of off-chain validators. They're listening to all of these blockchains, right? They're listening to 35 blockchains. It's a very intensive CPU process to listen to all of these blockchains. Right? We query a lot of blocks from all of these chains, and once we get an event, once we query the blocks and we see that a lock has happened, right? We start to process the validators process the transaction that it actually happened. They're reaching a consensus of the blockchain, and the validator they reach randomly. There's a very, very complex math that chooses a random validator to take these signatures. It goes on to the target chain, and there he interacts with the bridge smart contract that is on Polygon, let's say, that we send from Aurora to Polygon, and there he mints the NFT or unlocks it if it was locked, releases it, and sends it to the user wallet.
Yeah, so I was asking, our last phase was about 5-6 months ago, and I'm sure there's been a lot of updates and improvements on XP Network since then. So would love to hear a little bit about that. What new things have you guys built?
Yeah, so in the past, I believe 8 months already, we have been putting a very, very hard work. The tech team is at hard work. We're currently working in a semi-centralized way, and we're taking all of this knowledge that we have, and we're putting it into becoming fully decentralized, right? We're very, very close. Yesterday, we finished working on the validator code. It's fully complete, open sourced on GitHub. People can fork it. They can take the code. They can run their own NFT bridges if they want. It's out there in the code. We put a lot of work into it. This has been the thing that we have mostly worked on, right? Currently, the problem when you become decentralized is you need a way to dynamically add validators, which is quite hard in off-chain signature, right? There's a need. So there's a lot of changes we have done. We have made a lot of changes into being able to reach consensus on the blockchain itself, right? This is took us a long time, and this is going to be a great milestone for XP Network. We're going to become fully decentralized. People can come in, they can stake XPNet, and they can run their own validator, right? It's a very powerful event. It's exciting.
So another thing I wanted to ask, we have a lot of NFT bridges in the ecosystem. There's been a lot of new ones built. There's a lot of old ones. I think NFT bridge is one of those key pieces of infrastructure that there's a lot of them. And how it does XP Network differentiate itself in between all the different bridges? What are some key advantages to using this specific bridge versus any other?
Well, first thing, it's great. I'm happy that there are many NFT bridges coming up. When we started, we were the only one out there. In the number way, NFT, when we're talking in numbers, XP Network has the most token standard, wallet integrations, non-EVM, EVM chains connected to it. We've been running also for almost 3 years now, right? Without any hitches, which is amazing to me. Security is our main concern at all time, right? We are always on the alert, looking, seeking, doing pen testing, auditing the smart contracts, checking any way for any issues. XP Network also, when you are using the bridge, you actually get your own NFT collection. You get your own NFT smart contract on the target chain, right? Most of these bridges have just a singular have a singular like an NFT collection for everything. All of the NFTs, they basically reach a single NFT collection when you're using most of the big bridges. I won't name them, but yeah, this is something that I think XP Network is on the edge of the spear regarding this.
Well, is it true you guys were the first NFT bridge ever?
If we were the first NFT bridge ever, I believe so. We were. I don't think there was one. Don't catch me on this word, right? It's not something that I researched. But when we started, I don't think there were any. Maybe one. Maybe we were the first. Not that it
Got it.
actually matters if we're the first or not. To be honest.
It doesn't matter, but it would be very interesting because there are so many. It would be crazy to have the first one in my space. But you mentioned a little bit about security, and I know that's a big thing with bridges. Not sure how much that extends to NFT bridges, but I think we've seen a lot of different exploits with bridges, even in the past year. How do you guys handle that? What is your approach to making sure that nothing happens to XP Network? And from what you said before, I understand you have never had exploit before. So I guess that's already really nice, but would love to hear what is your approach to make sure that doesn't happen in the future as well.
The first approach that we take is regarding any exploits in the code, right? Code can be exploited if it's not simple, right? This is something that I've noticed throughout my entire career as a developer. The code itself needs to be very, very small, the smallest it can be, with the least amount of logic in it, right? Once you start to integrate a lot of logic, a lot of lines, it becomes complicated, and it becomes like full of holes. Basically, there's more ways to come in and exploit it. Once the code becomes big and clunky, right? This is something that I put a lot of emphasis on, to have very, very small, slim code, very smart code. The code needs to be smart, needs to be simple, like a song, right? Needs to be small. Number two is have professional eyes on the code as well, not only your eyes, right? We use audits. We audit with multiple companies, not just one. We have the best audits. The top companies audit our code, which is something great. They don't find a lot of issues, which is something that I would appreciate if they would find more issues. To be honest, it would make me more relaxed as well. We do regular number 3. We do regular tests, right? The validators, every validator is on a separate chain, on a separate server, and we do constant attempts, right? We have a SecOps team that are very good. They have a lot of experience. Our SecOps guys, and they attempt to hack us all the time to access these servers. We change SSH keys often, and number 4 now, which is something that will be newly added, is that the code will be open source, which is a great thing, right? People can take the code, they can fork it, they can use it, they can find issues while using it, right? If they will find, I'll be very happy if they will find, right? I get messages from people often, right? They're trying to find issues in our software. There are not many things that they find, right? If at all. I think the smallest thing that they found was something on our website that was a minor thing, right? Not even something to be taken seriously.
Got it. Okay, let's move to the most interesting part. What are you guys planning to build in the near future, as well as the far future? What are your plans for growing XP Network? Also, would be very interesting to hear which chains are you still planning to connect that are not connected yet.
Yeah, currently regarding connections, the latest one we're connecting to is going to be BitGert, I believe. It's a EVM chain. With some modifications, we had to attest to some EVMs. They decided to do some changes, which is fine by us, and we handle it. And in the future, what our current plan is, currently we're looking to launch the decentralized bridge, right? We are looking to start a validator program. People can sign up and apply to become a validator. Currently, we'll slowly let people in to become validator, which won't be a fully automated thing, because first you need to get like a certain wall, right, of validators that are trustworthy, and they go through KYC. And it's people that basically trustworthy people that will be validators for the bridge. This is the first thing. And secondly, I believe we will be looking into doing some layer 2, something regarding a layer 2 blockchain, right? This is something that we will definitely be looking into doing.
Okay, I think this would be a good time to open up the floor to some questions. We do have a lot of requests. Let me bring a couple people up. Hopefully, we're not gonna get bombarded with a lot of pre-written nonsensical questions today, and we're actually gonna get questions from people who listen. So, actually, Ruben, before we jump into that, I know my team told me that XP Network will be giving away 50 NFTs, but I'm not sure like what that exactly was referring to. Could you tell our audience what is the giveaway for today?
Well, the giveaway for today are 50 XP Network NFTs.
Perfect. And what chain are they on? Are we going to be able to give them away to near addresses?
You will be able to give them to Aurora addresses.
Aurora, perfect. Yeah, I think most of our listeners should have Aurora addresses. We had Shih Tzu giveaways before and things like that. All right, let's jump into that. Let me just bring up a couple more people. Let's start with a question from Amber.
Actually, Wexa has really asked a great question. Sorry, some great questions. I don't know, maybe I'm actually into community engagement. I just want to know your work or your progress towards the community. Is there any innovative approaches you guys are actually working on to actively engage and empower users more as developers or stakeholders in your community so as to create a good or vibrant ecosystem?
This is actually a good question. It's not something that I've thought about, actually. It's a good thing to think about regarding activating more developer community to use our forks. This is a good question, Amber. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Amber. Let's take a question from Anton.
Yes, hello everyone. Thanks for choosing me and thanks for a new project that I didn't hear before, XP Network. So my question is about the practical advantages of some NFTs. For example, on Ton Network, some NFTs give for their holders some advantages like voting or giving some extra tokens. And to do this, I need to, how it is called, engage with site, which is called GetGames. GetGames, where I need to connect it by my Ton wallet and engage with the site to get more free NFTs or tokens if I am a holder of this NFT collection. In case I switch or bridge, this NFT into another blockchain, do I miss these advantages or not?
Well, Anton, it depends. What happens when you bridge, we deploy the NFT with a standard NFT smart contract, right? What happened previously with some projects, we deployed a specific NFT collection that they integrated into their project, right? If the project has integrated the NFT collection into their DApp, then you don't lose these advantages. But if they didn't and you just bridge the NFT, you will need to return the NFT back and use the original NFT for these advantages. I hope that answers your question, Anton.
Additional moment, how can I check this if it is integrated into the DApp or not?
You can contact the XP.NETWORK support and we can check it for you, or you can ask the project themselves.
Okay, good.
It's something that we will happily check for you, Anton, to be honest. The support team is very active and they will 100% check it for you.
Okay, understand. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Anton, for asking a great question. Let's move to a question from J.K. Smith.
So I just want to know, as we all know, many projects do look great, on their white papers, on their roadmap, but, they do face many difficulties when trying to implement the project mission. So I just want to know, can you please elaborate on some of the biggest challenges, or biggest obstacles your team projects have, actually encountered during the development, of this project, and how were they really overcome?
The biggest challenge is integrating a specific chain. I won't name it. It was very, very hard to integrate it into our bridge because the development language was not cooked properly, right? It wasn't ripe. Okay, it was extremely hard, and it took us a lot of months and a lot of contact with that specific blockchain team. Basically, the way we overcame it was using communication, right? We were on a day-to-day basis, communications with them, working the language. We actually pushed a few commits as well to their own to the repos, right? We helped them improve the language. So the way we overcame this obstacle was through communication, through helping the blockchain itself improve the language. This is how we overcame it. Good question. Thank you for it.
Yeah, thanks. So I do have a second question. Please, can I ask?
Yes, of course, go ahead.
All right, so I just want to know, in view of the rapid advancement in technology, how do you seek to stay ahead, of the curve and adapt to the changing landscape of the crypto market? And secondly, I just want to know, what step have you put in place, to ensure you remain competitive, relevant, and also successful over the long term?
Blockchains are always coming up, right? Always new blockchain. There was always a new, a couple of months ago, we had the app to Sui that were coming up. So the way to remain relevant and competitive in the place, in this, in the world of cryptocurrency is to always be on top of it, right? If a new blockchain comes up, you must develop for it. You must contact the team. You must be on with a hand on your pulse, right? You must always be active on it. Must be proactive. Contact these blockchain teams, develop for these new blockchains, connect them to your product. This is a way that we employ here, right? Do outreaches to projects, to people all the time. This is something that XP.NETWORK does every day on a day-to-day basis for the last 3 years.
Yeah, all right, sure. Thanks a lot. I do wish you success over the long term. Appreciate it.
Thank you, JK. Let's take the next question from Phoenix DeFi.
Thank you so much for bringing me up. Okay, it's been an interactive MAA. I want to know, how does XP.NETWORK compare to other NFT bridge solutions like Homeho or Rainbow Bridge? And are there any fees associated with using XP.NETWORK to bridge NFTs?
The way to compete with these big bridges is to basically when we outreach projects, right? We outreach these projects. We close deals with them. We contact them. But the beautiful thing that we've currently started seeing is people are coming in and just using the bridge on their own, which is very, very exciting for us, even though there weren't so many usages. But the usages that are just organic were amazing. And yes, there is a fee. There is a cost for the validators when they transfer the NFT. And this fee is it's around 75 cents plus the 25 cents that the validators are usually paying for the transaction. So in total, it's around $1 pretty much. The fee is only high when you send to Ethereum, right? Because of the gas prices there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, I think we just have two more questions before we wrap this up. Let me bring the rest of the people. Thank you all guys for excellent questions. And let's take a question from Young Boy. Young Boy, can you hear me?
So my question is, do you have a local community for them to better understand your project? Thank you.
Yeah, we have an active community on the XP.NETWORK Telegram channel and Twitter as well. Rami and Michael, they pretty much handle the socials and the community.
Perfect. And I think the other person who wanted to ask a question dropped. Probably some connection problems. But yeah, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up then. We've been live for a while. Definitely a lot of interesting information. Guys, make sure to follow like XP.NETWORK, get involved with their community. A lot of interesting things happening. Ruby, thank you so much for your time. This was definitely very educational for us. Is there anything else or any call to action that the community should know before we wrap this up?
In the next couple of weeks, we're going to release a validator program, right? I want you guys to come in, register if you want to be an XP.NETWORK validator for our decentralized bridge. And this is it from me. Thank you very much, Wax, for having me. It's been a great time talking to you and answering your community's question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you again once there is more to talk about. And yeah, guys, thank everyone for coming.